Hey guys, Kyle the Death Knight of Anime here, bringing you my review for One Piece episode 817. And I'm not even gonna lie to you, definitely a part of me died a little inside watching this episode, because, oh boy. So, we finally get the reveal in this episode of Pudding being just a psychotic, and being just psychotic, as psychotic and depraved as, if not more so, than her own mother, Big Mom. And if you anime onlys couldn't see this coming, then I don't know what you've been watching, because the clues were everywhere, even before this episode dropped. Also, while the art and animation was good in this episode, I do feel somewhat obliged to mention that the big reveal was less detailed here than in the manga, but I've come to accept that stuff, except that stuff like that will always kind of look less detailed compared to its manga counterpart. Like, I don't think no matter what studio handles it, whether good or bad, I don't think we're ever going to get a true, perfectly good, a good representation of a certain scene that we see as extremely detailed. So, like, you look at Boku no Hero Academia with the reveal with that whole reveal of Shigaraki. It wasn't as detailed in the manga, so yeah, I've come to accept that little stuff like that is always going to be less detailed than we would like it to be, but yeah. And just poor fucking Sanji, like, honestly, just seeing his reaction to Pudding's true nature was all kinds of heartbreaking, depressing, and just the level of art detail on his shock face, like his initial shock face when we see him bulging, his eyes bulging and whatnot, that, like, you honestly really feel for the man. It was just amazing, and you honestly really feel for the man. Like, his family has constantly treated him like dog shit when he finally finds a small ray of sunshine in Pudding, only to cover it up by a dark and gloomy rainstorm, from learning what she's truly like, it can leave you with a feeling of crippling depression, which I guess in that sense the title of the episode really fits. I think I think there was a similar title in the manga too, but yeah, and can I just say the ending just added to the crippling sadness, and from an artistic standpoint, the scene was just beautifully drawn, and you can see the amount of effort and detail that went into drawing Sanji's sadness. Like, whoever drew that, I have to give him full-on props. Like the scene, like that scene of seeing Sanji crying while trying to light his cigarette was just pure emotion, and I could feel every bit of it. If I did have a problem with that ending scene, is that I feel Toei did kind of drag the scene out a bit, but that's minor compared to just the like the at that one moment of Sanji just crying, of breaking down crying and trying to light a cigarette, you can just see every bit of hope he had just get crushed under the weight of the truth. Like, seriously, it's just shit. Like, it's just like, what now? Like, you can see he's desperately seeking for an answer of what he can do now. And, like, we of course all know where this is going. Like, he's gonna realize that he still has his friends and Straw Hats, so yeah. But yeah, just this scene alone is just worth praise, to be honest with you. Just, I do gotta give the animators a Toei credit for this, I'll say that much. But yeah. And, okay. What I'm about to say to you all in this video is very controversial, but I need to get it out there. Just airing the grievance, so to speak. You know, I'll say this much. When it comes to relationships, I'm a lot like Sanji. I'm chivalrous to a fault and will do anything to make a woman happy and protect her. However, there is one thing I will say that's different between me and Sanji. That is, if a woman deceives, belittles, mocks, or just downright treats me like a piece of shit, the way Pudding was doing to Sanji in this episode, I don't give a damn of how controversial or taboo it is. I beat the ever-living shit out of said woman, because that's precisely what I wanted to do to Pudding in this episode. I wanted to beat her to death in this episode. Like, again, I know it's a very controversial thing to say, but, like, with Pudding, whenever you come across a woman like Pudding, or just when you see a character like Pudding, that's all you want to do. You just want to beat them to death. Honestly, like they're so just devoid of any. They're so devoid of any true love for feeling that it's like feeling, and they only care about deceiving people. That it's like, wow, you are a bitch. Seriously, it's like that. That's yeah. Like I said, very controversial, but I just had to get my thoughts out there. Granted, seeing how granted, knowing the way One Piece does things, we probably will get a reasoning behind her harsh behavior and why she's doing all this. But for me, it's like gonna be something seriously fucked up for me to care. Because, like I said, the way Pudding was treating Sanji in this episode was just made me say, you have no care or feeling in your whole body, do you? Like I said, I'm sure. I'm sure there's a reason, but until we get it, I don't. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, so aside from that, we also learned in this episode the horrible yet obvious truth, which is Big Mom plans to kill the entire Vinsmoke family, including Sanji, at the wedding, because they've essentially already served their purpose by literally bringing Vinsmoke science, i.e. the entire German kingdom, to her doorstep, which is really kind of funny if you think about it. Both parties inevitably intended to betray each other, only difference being is that I consider one to have much better resources and manpower to actually succeed in said goal of killing the other. Well, the other, I was just sitting back and saying, you fuckers are getting in way over your heads. Like, if you can't tell, I'm talking about the Vinsmokes falling into the latter category, because honestly, they were making, they're making deals with a Yonko. So they, Judge especially, were deluded if they actually thought things were going to go the way they wanted. And that Big Mom wouldn't have been, and that Big Mom inevitably wouldn't have an even more psychotic plan than them. Like, I feel the lesson here with this, with the reveal of this little plan that Big Mom has is, don't make deals with Yonko. Like seriously, I'm not sure what Judge was thinking in any shape or form that he thought this would go down in his favor at all. Like, I get that the Vinsmokes are powerful, that they have Vinsmoke science, they have Vinsmoke technology, they basically are assassins, more or less. Mercenaries, assassins, whatever. But the Vinsmokes as a whole, they just haven't proven that they're on the level to even be able to go toe to toe with Big Mom in any fashion. It's like, yeah, what do you guys think you could even hope of facing Big Mom? Like, really? Okay, I will say this though. Out of that entire rotten family of Vinsmokes, I will say the only one to me who's worthy of saving outside of Sanji, because we know he's already going to survive. He's the main character, of course. Is Reiju. Like, honestly, out of all the Vinsmokes, Reiju seems like the only decent person in the bunch. Like, honestly, especially from seeing the flashback of her saving her brother and whatnot. Like, already, like, I'm saying Reiju deserves to actually be safe compared to her brother, compared to Miji, Ichiji, Yonji, Judge especially. Like, all, like, you can kill all the. You can kill all those dudes, but definitely make sure that you save Reiju. Like, honestly, just save her. I don't. Yeah, I can care less about the other guys, but yeah. Also, the one thing I kind of realized from watching this episode is I question this in the manga too. I question this in the manga, but somehow from watching the anime, it made a lot more sense. Which is, I never really give much thought. Though, is the only thing is, what is that jelly guy like? I had a couple questions when we see the jelly guy basically sitting down on Reiju's hands, and I'm like, what made that jelly guy such a threat? Why couldn't Reiju just toss him off her? And then I realized his name, Nitro, and like, okay. His name is Nitro the Jelly. And knowing Oda with his wordplay the way I think he does, it made me realize that Nitro, the jelly guy, probably has like some kind of explosive quality to him or something. Like he would probably, if given the opportunity, he would probably explode on Reiju's hands and render them immobile, probably. So, which is, which actually, when you think about the entire Vinsmoke family, it is kind of funny because a lot of the Vinsmokes aren't afraid to actually use their. A lot of the Vinsmokes outside of Sanji aren't afraid to use all of their appendages in order to fight, but Sanji's the only one who who doesn't want to use his hands, but they'll use any means to fight. So yeah, it's kind of funny in that regard. Um, and one thing but yeah, just a little bit of a tidbit there, I guess. I don't know. It was just a weird little tidbit I just picked up on now. Also, kind of creative too. I think is that this island basically has their own ammunition for guns and whatnot. But like, but their own ammunition that can their own ammunition apparently can pierce like armor and armor and uh, armor and shields. And I think the scarier part about that is like it seriously has me questioning what kind of gunsmith or candy maker or whatever the freak those bullets are made out of on Whole Cake Island that does Whole Cake Island have if they can like turn candy into lethal weapons. That's kind of what I want to know here. Yeah, but yeah, guys, that's pretty much my review. Enjoyed the video? Like, comment, subscribe, or follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Death Knight of Anime signing off. Later, guys.